Hello, everyone. I'm Jesus, and welcome to the next episode of The Road to Old School MTG. I have an interesting video here. So, this is going to be a new short series that I'm going to make. So, I've had this thought for quite a while, and I like reading about this particular topic of just the differences that modern old school players have in terms of their mindset of building decks nowadays, as opposed to the time frame of the early to mid, even late 90s of how deck building should be, right? So there's been a lot of advancement, and for the old school community, right, which this my channel is mainly based off, the the new way of thinking of just how decks should be made in terms of prioritizing draws, uh, mana curving, uh, and definitely the mana base, ramping. So a lot of these things that we kind of take for granted nowadays, this way of thinking was very different in back in those in the times of when the first game was first created. And so I was that always fascinated me of just how different the decks are nowadays, even though we play old school and the card pool is from only from 1993 to 1984, right, the first 2 years of the game. So the cards are literally the same cards that they had access to back in the day, but the way we make the decks now is vastly different to how the players in the early to mid 90s made their decks. Why is that, right? So of course we have now 30 years of experience, you know, as a whole, in the community for all these new developments to occur and these new ways of thinking to occur, right? And a lot of the decks that from nowadays of from old school have very little to no resemblance to their counterparts, if they even have any counterparts, right? So a lot of the decks from way back then, nobody even plays them, right? It's basically unplayable. Um, and so I got to thinking, how can I test out a deck, a modern old school deck to uh, and play that against a player back in the day, right? So of course I cannot do that. Another way to do that will be, I guess, you can look up a deck list from the early 90s and just recreate that and then play against somebody else in person, right? Or I guess digitally. So that's another way. But I thought a cooler way would be to through the use of the game Shandalar. So on the game Shandalar, there's an option called the Gauntlet, where you can create a deck and you have no restrictions, and you can play against the AI for however games you want, right? So here I'm choosing 5 games so that these videos are not super long. But I feel this is the most accurate way of testing out, the new school way of thinking about the old school card pool as opposed to the 90s way of thinking. Of course, there are limitations. The AI here is subpar, as are the decks. But this is the game that players of the 90s played using the same AI, basically. So I think this is a nice way of kind of bridging that gap and testing things out from these two time frames. So that I'm going to use 3 decks. So 2 decks I'm going to use are the top 2 decks from the latest Winter Derby. So that's almost like half a year away. That's when I first got this idea, but work and other obligations, and me focusing on other things, uh, kind of pushed this back. But Timmy Talks has also been doing a series on Chandela for a while, so it's kind of like spurred me on. And now that I have time, I'm finally coming back to revisit this same idea. So the top 2 decks was second place was Shop's deck, and first place was the deck, right? Or of course the modern version of the deck. And then just to kind of do something a little different, I'm also going to use a more traditional the deck build to kind of like test how a deck from that time frame, right? A real good deck from that time frame, how it would fare off against the AI here, right? Because the deck is one of those few decks that is is for the most part very similar to from its original inception to how it's being interpreted nowadays. Most other decks have a lot of changes. So that's why even though the time frame is very different, the modern deck, the deck as opposed to the more original the deck, I would say they're pretty similar, right? So I thought that would be a nice thing to do in addition, right? So those will be the three decks that I'm going to be testing out today. I'm testing out the Shops deck. So here we go on the Gauntlet. So this is the smallest amount that you can do, 5 opponents that you face off against. So I already have the deck built in. So there is no Chaos Orb, and I think there might be no one or two other cards, just because some cards were not available in this game, right? So the Chaos Orb, of course, you have to flip it. So they didn't have that in this deck. I mean, in the card pool here, and I think one or two other cards. But I would say 95% of the decks I was able to recreate exactly as they are being played nowadays. And like I said, this is in particular, the second place uh, deck from the latest Winter Derby, right? So here we have Shops run the Gauntlet. So I'm on the left, opponent's on the right. Coin flip. This is where it's going to tell you who goes first. Aurora won the toss and will play first. So the opponent is. So that's my hand here. And then I'm going to choose if I keep my hand or not. So I can mulligan and then I'll get a new hand, of course, but this is not the new rules where you can choose to put one card back at the bottom. You're going to draw one card less. So I have a good mix of cards. I'm going to start the duel. So I like to put this more in the middle. These red spots are where are pauses, where the game automatically pauses, lets you react. So opponent skips their draw, I believe. So first main, mountain. Ooh, kobold, that is dope. Oh, play 2 kobolds. Right, so my turn now. So upkeep, nothing. Upkeep, I drew. I see manipulator. So what do I have? I have Black Lotus. I have some lands. I can do a turn 1 Icy Manipulator, but then I'll waste the Black Lotus on that, right? So I think I'll play a City of Brass just to keep my Lightning Bolt handy. The kobolds can't do any damage at the moment, right? So really not much of a threat. Could have played the Black Lotus, I guess, but whatever. They're playing red. Oh, okay, there we go. So this beats up their toughness, not their power. Not a big deal. But it's cool that I'm playing against the kobolds deck. This is the first time I've seen this deck in this game, and I played this game quite a bit. So I don't want to use my lightning. So here we go. Draw. Okay, so now I'll play something else. See, now I guess I can play the Lotus. So now I may want to kill the Kobold Drill Sergeant, because now that I have the Trike, I can play the Trike next turn. I want to drop their power, right? So right now, that's in the back of my head. I could copy artifact the Black Lotus, I guess, but I think I'll just wait, because right now I'm just okay. She goes. Okay, there we go. So fire breathing. Okay, on one of the kobolds. Okay, place a second drill sergeant. So it's gonna be tricky because now I cannot do the Triskelion trick that I wanted to do. They're They're beefed up by 3 toughness now. Okay, now this is trickier. Okay, this one kobold. Oh, the drill sergeant. Um, do I want to lightning bolt this guy? I think nah, I'll just take the damage. I'll save the lightning bolt for another one that beats up their power. That's the one that to watch out for. Take this. Okay, another copy artifact. Eh, okay, City of Brass. So unfortunately, I'm getting City of Brasses. So it's gonna cost me to do something in terms of cost me life. So if I play a Triskelion this turn, and if I get an out land, I could do 2 copy artifacts next turn. Or at least 1 copy artifact, and then I could still lightning bolt something. But I cannot lightning bolt whatever he plays next. So he only has 1 card in hand, so he doesn't have the more aggressive kobold, the one that beats up the power. But he could draw them. Just and he has a fire breathing, right? So that's is tricky. I'm gonna risk it. I'm gonna play the Triskelion now. Doesn't matter what. 6. It's cost me 2 additional life. So that little whirly thing is just means it's summon sick. But of course I can use the counters right away. Right now my lightning is an option. Hopefully he doesn't draw that card. Okay, he's going into attack, so he's not playing it before the attack. But he has 4 mountains, so he can. I'm gonna have to let this go. So here, if I choose something to block, he didn't pump anything. So that's either the AI messed up or he's casting stuff. Ooh, column warner's power intelligence equal to each to the number of non-wall creatures you control. Oh, so he's gonna be a 5/5. Yep. Okay, that's gonna be tricky. All right. Okay, Mishra's workshop. That's interesting. Doesn't give me mana that I can use for spells that are not artifact spells. Okay, so let's see. I can lightning bolt one of the drill sergeants. I can copy artifact the trike. That's 6 tokens. I think that's what I'm gonna do. So first, lightning bolt. I gotta choose red. It's gonna hit me for damage, but I'm gonna kill one of the drill sergeant. Okay, I'm gonna copy artifact. Select an artifact. I select trike. Funnily enough, it gives me a copy of the trike. Okay, now I play my workshop. I can't cast anything anyway. I can shoot the drill sergeant for 2. And then I can kill the other kobolds for 2, 3, 4, 5. Um, I mean, there's no rush, so I'll keep them at 4/4 for now. Plus, maybe the AI does something dumb. Since, ooh, okay, so okay, he's playing on the drill sergeant, so I have to now use my tokens to kill the drill sergeant. That giant strength. Okay. All right. All right, so there's still no rush. Plus, I have another copy artifact. So I'm Shatter, nothing to shatter. 3, I can cast the Tetravus, but then I cannot copy artifact. I think the copy artifact is the more important spell. I can basically wipe off. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna wipe the board. Copy artifact, and I can still play the Icy Manipulator actually. Let's do a copy artifact first. Underground Sea, City Brass. Selecting the trike again. Use this once to shoot the other ones so I can still attack with the other ones. So I'm gonna shoot this one. Every time I kill a creature, the warlord gets smaller. I'm gonna shoot the other one. And then I'm gonna shoot the warlord. So main phase done. Combat phase. So I don't like that the tab stays the same, right? So if you're not careful, you can double click. That's happened to me a lot. So now combat, choose attackers. You gotta click. If a creature's available for attacking, their name will light up. So I'm coming in 4/6. Oh, and then I almost forgot. I'll play the manipulator. City Brass and the workshop. That's one card in hand only. Let's see. Another kobold. Okay, what kind of? So I can just tap the kobold. I don't have to use one of my tokens. So let's see. 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 damage. 8, 9, 10, 11. So I cannot kill him this turn. Since I cannot kill him, do I want to use one of the tokens now? Anyway. Yeah, like there's not one card that he can play that's gonna turn the type at this point. So I'm gonna just tap his kobold attackers. It's a 7. Let me see. I could cast the Tetravus. 3, 4, 5, 6. It'll cost me 2 life, but I think yeah, just in case. 3, 4. And that's it. Kobold. Mox Emerald. I'll tap one Kobold. I'll ping the other one. And honestly, I could just attack with the. But let me do what I would do. All right, so let's see. All right, so let's see. Combat. You click on that little coin thing to see. Okay, so same thing. I'm going second. I only have one strip mine. Oh man, this is tricky. No, I don't think I can keep this. Remember, this is the old Mulligan rule. So I guess it's a good way to see the old Mulligan rules in action. Ooh, I got that same strip mine back, and now I got one less card. Ugh, man. I do have that time twister though, so I'll do it. Let's see. So the gauntlet is up to 5 games, right? Or depending how many you set it for. But if you lose, the gauntlet ends right away. Right? So hopefully, I can go 5 games. But now this one is a little tricky. Ooh, one is playing force green, but thank goodness they're not. Ooh, perfect. They got a workshop. So right for now, no, actually, let me play the workshop first. Plays black all of a sudden, and mine twists me. All right, so I can't do anything else at the moment, but I do have a turn 2 Juggernaut. Pretty good with artifact removal. So I'll do the factory instead. Okay, so I got very lucky to have a workshop and a factory immediately after first 2 draws. Okay, okay. All right. Ooh, another factory. So it has 3 mana. I could strip mine this one of the lands just to keep them low. So I cannot play any blue right now because I don't have any blue production. Hmm. So I think I'm gonna just factor. So I'm gonna activate this factory, the one that's already been in play. So I gotta do it before I attack. Change to assembly work. And then I gotta use the other factory. Face attackers. So the Juggernaut will automatically trigger this tab to open, right? So you can't by accident click away from the attack, which is good because, like I said, it's very easy to click past your attack phase in this game. So I'm coming in for 7. Hopefully there's no Okay, so yeah. Living artifact, just the opponent can gain 1 life back whenever swords, well, the Juggernaut deals damage to him. But it's a slow drip. Fine. Now I have 6 mana. So I can attack. Okay, I cannot attack. I was just gonna say I can attack with both factors, but I cannot because the workshop, I cannot use the mana for that. I can start using blue now though. Okay, so I can do the time walk. I come in for 5 now. And then next turn I'll have an extra mana to activate both factors. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna time walk. The living artifact effect won't come into play until the opponent's. So it's my turn again, so he didn't gain a life back. Or else now it wouldn't have worked. But then side blast. Okay, so I'll just side blast. Alright. Doing good. So I was very lucky to hit Alright, so I'm losing all the flips. Okay, 1 land. Man, what's up? 1 land, but I got a pearl. No ramp though. Ah. Mm, I'll keep. Let's see what happens. Ooh, I go first. So that's good because I can get to getting something useful. Yeah, can't do anything else. Anything that you could cast, I believe it lights up, right? So island, flood. Ooh, interesting. Ooh, I'm getting it. So a land. I could copy artifact. I think I'll copy artifact the pearl to guarantee me mana because right now that's more important. Copy artifact. Pearl, and I pass. The second island, but he wants the mana open either to counterspell or to use on the flood. Okay, so now I have a decision to make. So he has 6 cards, and I could strip mine, but then I cannot play my own Suchi. So I'll twist for 3, and then I'll make him waste his counterspell if he has it, and then I can cast my Suchi after that. And if he doesn't counterspell, then I just twisted him for 3. So win-win. 1, 2, 3. So X is 3, done. Choose my opponent. Let's see what happens. Wait, the heck was that? So he counter attacks while this is well, this AI, like he could have power synced it, but then he just let the mind tools work. Okay. I told you the AI left a lot to be desired, but either way, this is the same AI that players from the 90s would been up against anyway, right? So so opponent plays a land, but we do know he's playing counter spells. Okay, so now I'll do the Suchi. Because even if he can still flood, of course, but then he has to keep things open. I don't get that. Okay, so he can flood twice now. 3 creatures before I can start dealing damage to him. Without flying, so Tetrabus will go over the flood. Not that that matters much at the moment. So Side Blast, I may just have to just kill him with direct damage. Or at least drop him low enough to finish him off with direct damage. For now, I can Icy Manipulator. It was definitely wise to Mox, copy artifact the Mox because I'm not getting any follow-up mana after this. All right. Play another. So, yeah, let me Suchi. The good thing is that you have to commit 2 mana to tapping it. Not. Ooh. I didn't. I can Side Blast the Suchi, and then my opponent will take 4 damage. Like I said, I may be going the route of direct damage anyway, right? So okay, so I'll use the Underground Sea blue and the 2 pearls, Side Blast. Okay. I don't see any damage. Oh no, I think he has to go to combat now. And the burn. So I had no attacks. I can. So yeah, I'll tap one of his lands during his action. Instead of a City of Brass open in case of a lightning bolt. One has 3 cards. Ooh, Phantom Monsters are perfect. So lightning bolt now. Alright, so now I'm getting more mana sources. So I can cast the strike. 1, 2, 3. I gotta tap out 4, 5, 6. Yep, that's it. Gonna get tapped. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So he has 6 islands. He can tap 3 things. But then that only leaves 4 open. Ooh, hoo, hoo, Mahamori-jin. It's gonna be tricky again. That's gonna be tricky. Yes, of course. Workshop. Do now. So I could tap him now. I'll come in for 4. But then his Mahamori will be, because if I don't hit him for 4 now, he will just continue to flood my Triskelion. But I guess that's still not bad. I could still win. Because if I hit him for 4 now, by tapping his Modi, the Modi's going to hit me for 5, though. Yeah, I don't think it's worth it. I'm just going to be defensive. If I had a factory, I would have definitely tapped out the Modi and come in for 6. But I don't have a factory, so because I can still ping him with the trike, right? So I want to get him lower than me, and then I'll just Earthquake. But I need a lot more mana to be able to do that. And something tells me he's playing mostly flyers. Actually, then if he's playing mostly flyers, then let's see. I come in for 4. He's 12. He's going to hit me back for 5. I'll be at 11. 12. So it'll be at 9 if I also hit him with the trike. I'll be at 11. 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Plus it may get another. Okay, so I'm going to attack. But actually, I was about to attack. Get a tap the Modi first. Alright. Whoa. That is so dumb. So he's boomeranging my strike. And then I'm just pinging him for 3. Get the trike back anyway. Plus I got a factory. I mean a workshop. Ooh. Okay, he's gonna get one good hit. Okay, so he may have a Karn spawn. That kind of changes things. 3, 4, 5, 6, and then I still need the IC manipulator. So yeah, I'll cast the trike. So workshop 3. 4, 5, 6. So I can ping him for 3, he'll drop to 6, and then I can earthquake for for the rest next turn. That's the plan at least. Let's see. Yep, I pass. Taps the trike. So I gotta be careful here because the little tab will open before he attacks. Okay, main pass effects main phase. So this is going to go right to attacks. So I have to tap him now. I'll tap the strip mine. And ooh, he has a final monster now. Hmm. I used the strip mine. If I had left it open, I could have destroyed one of the untapped islands, and then he couldn't have flooded this turn. I mean, during my turn. Okay, so I have he. Oh, he has 0 cards in hand, so he does not have a counter spell. If I ping him for 3, he's at 6. And can I do a earthquake for 6 without using the underground sea? Let's see. 3, 4, 5, exactly 6. But then I still need one more man after that. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't have enough to 9, 8, 7, 6. 9, 8, 7, 6, 3, 6. Yeah, I don't have enough to. I don't have enough to kill him this turn to cast an earthquake for 6. So the best thing to do is to just recall now. Okay, he's bloody. That's gonna happen anyway. Okay. Hmm. Decisions. All right, so I have to. So I have to kill the phantom monster using the track that I have now. Have mana open to tap the Mori, and then hopefully I can get that new track that I have in hand. 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 6 for the new trike, and still have mana open for the icy. Okay, I can use the. I'll play effective. This gives me options for attacking next turn. Alright, so let me cast this new trike. Workshop 3, 4, 5, 6. And yeah, I gotta kill the phantom monster, and if I get hit for 3, I'll be at 5. So I guess I could still get hit for 3, but I'm afraid he might get a. Well, I guess there's no rush. Maybe he gets a. Hmm. I could always react to whatever he does. Well, not always. Maybe I could. Hmm. All right. I'll react. All right. So I have to tap the Mori now. Alright, so I have the strip mine open in case he does something. Okay, so I guess I can let him attack. Okay, yep, so I have to kill the phantom. Oh, I don't have to. He has one card. Hmm. Yeah, I think I'll do it. Yeah. Being little bit conservative here, but I think that's the right call. All right. Land. So he's gonna flood both of my creatures. So I do want to activate the factory because that's gonna be one less. So he might tap my factory as well, but then I just gotta make sure I have enough mana. He has one card in hand. So that's 2 mana out. Because remember, the workshop, I cannot use it for non-artifact spells. So I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 6 mana after I animate and attack with the factor to do everything I want to do. So I want to 4. Yeah, I think I have enough. So let me animate my factory first. Change to assembly worker. So here you got to be careful because all the options are very close to one another. Ooh, he did not. So like I said, the back in my brain here, and then I'm just going to just ping him to death. All right, funny rule is we're still alive and kicking. Won the toss and chosen to draw first. Draw, so that means I go first. All right, so man, what's up with one lands? And it's a factory, so no color mana. I have an ancestral though, and I have a lot of good stuff in hand. Oh man, I'm constantly getting these kind of things. All right, let me freaking do it. Pause and well, I'm gonna be most likely being very slow. Opponent's ramping already. Ooh, dang. Worst things. Okay, so I got a demonic tutor for well, I can ancestral, but I need mana. So I'm gonna demonic tutor for a volcanic island. So that'll give me well, let's see what I can do for. But I just need red. I could get a workshop, but I only have one trike, and then I still don't have enough mana. No, I'm getting a land. So either volcanic island. Let's see what else. I don't want city of brass. Yeah, volcanic island it is. And that's it. He's still gonna hit me for 1. Good. I'm glad that he used the giant growth on the attack. Alright, so volcanic island. So 5-4. I can still ancestral. Okay, I got a Mox to follow that up. So nothing to cast, so I can't animate my. So he has green though. Hmm. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm not gonna risk it. Right? Factory. So a good chunk of mana. So I'm still 1 mana short from casting the big guys, the trikes. But I can cast. So yeah, I think definitely a manipulator to tap his stuff. 1, 2, 3, 4. During upkeep, I will tap a land. I'll keep him off blue since he has an emerald already. His mana is good as well. I guess I do another manipulator. Island. Things. So do I continue to tap 2 things? Or do I mean I can animate both factors attack and still tap the 2 islands. So I'll probably start tapping the forest actually. I mean the forest and the emerald. Something tells me he has more green creatures than blue creatures. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Like I said, be careful with tap because very easy to pick a different option. I pass. Upkeep. I'm gonna tap the 4. I can do another effect. Tap the emerald. Depending what I see, I may switch to tapping the islands. Ooh. And a black lotus. Okay, the black lotus I can't do anything about. Whoa. That came out of nowhere. So I played an island, a black lotus, and then you have 4 mana for 2 Lord of Atlantis. So I definitely picked the wrong color. Okay, he hit mana burn. I don't know how. Ooh, damn it. So I still want to tap his stuff. So I can bolt one of them. I mean, I could bolt. Yeah, I only have 1 red, so I can only bolt 1. I can still cast a trike. 3, 4, 5, 6. 4, 5, 6, 1. And I can still tap his lands. Okay. Red. I'll do it while he's tapped. out. Trike. 3, 4, 5, 6, I guess. All right, so there we go. So I still got 2 mana open. Ooh, man. I can bolt the Lord. I can copy artifact for the trike, and I can still tap his stuff out. And do I still have enough for the trike in my hand? Well, let's just do this first. I may instead choose to trike, cast a trike if I have enough mana, because next turn I can still just copy artifacts. 3, 4, 5, 6. I still have 2 for the ICs. Because I can cast the second trike and the copy artifact same turn, but then I won't be able to tap his stuff. And that's what's been making me just slow him down so much. So I think, yeah, I'm going to continue with the same game plan. So I'll cast the trike in my hand. 3, 4, 5, 6. Wow. Let me just attack with these 2 guys. And here I'm pinging my opponent to death. I wonder if that is something that was thought about differently before. Like nowadays, 99% of the time, you win the toss, you go first. All right, so 2 lands, the Abyss. Yeah, looks good. Okay, I'll Volcanic Islands in case I need to bolt. Ooh, script spray. All right. Good. Okay, something tells me he's gonna pump it up or something. Yeah, let me just kill it now. All right, so so I want to be able to get that Abyss out. So I can't do anything second turn, so I might as well just play it. So it can come in for an forest and island. Interesting. Ooh, time walk. Played another. Ooh, 3 colors. Forest, island, plains. Wow. For and the ground sea. So I get the black for the Abyss. And then I even have a nice manipulator in case he casts a lot of creatures to to jump into the Abyss while still being able to attack. But I just need that extra mana. Yep, so he's just casting things and then Yeah, you got to do it. So I'm gonna so I could play a yeah, honestly with the abyss out and he's tapped out now. Yeah, I got to do it. There's a way to deal with it. All right. And so, yep, I'm not getting that fourth mana. But with the abyss, it gives me the options of being able to wait it, wait it out. Okay, my opponent has 2 cards only. My hand is almost full. I don't want a time twister. All right, there we go. So what do I do? So I'm afraid about the Suchis. Okay, let's do Juggernaut first. Nice. All right, so takes 2 to use. So he had first strike. He was almost going to be able to kill my Juggernaut. But right now I can attack. He does have a forest though. But if he uses it, I'll just side blast and I'll get a 2-for-1. So yeah, it's still worth. Remember, this attack tab opens up no matter what when you have a Juggernaut. And then I'll save that side blast for reserve, but I can still cast something. I guess I could just cast the manipulator instead, and then I'll just tap whatever creature he brings out. This combo. Ooh, on the so that was a this one. Right. Focus on getting more lands now. Suchi 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, forest. Let's see. Plains, forest, source. So I'm gonna. I see one of his lands, but I gotta see what 2 forests. So I'll tap into a forest. So the other has a first strike theme going on, but with the icy manipulator. And either way, the archers cannot kill my Suchi. He could have killed the Juggernaut though. So he only has 1. I could Earthquake for 2. Yeah, I think I'll tap his archer before the attack. I'll cast the Suchi. I'll tag with my Suchi. Yeah, let's do that. Then I'll cast my second Suchi. I gotta be careful if I do the then I gotta wait until end of the phase, and then I'll get mana burn. So I don't win it automatically. Okay, that's it. So I'm tagging for 10. Let's see if he has anything in hand. And now I'm doing an Earthquake for 1. Woo! Wow, that was fast. All right. So the I had a lot of one land hands, and then even after mulliganing, that kind of was the theme in a lot of the games. But a digital shuffling, randomizing is just not the same as a real life in person shuffle, right? No matter what, it's cannot replicate that. Is it is a little different. I've learned that from making decks online, using mana stack and other cockatrice, and then playing the decks through those programs, and then noticing the hands that I get, and then when I try them out in real life, it's just it's just not the same. And of course, there's shops that got second place in Lobstercon, so it can the results speak for themselves, and you just saw what happened here. So yeah, I'm pretty cool. That Cobalt deck was pretty cool to play against, but for the most part, yeah, like the shops deck ran through everything, and of course, there was a lot of AI dumbness. But like I said, this is the same AI that players in the 90s would have played against. But I'm sure they didn't have a shop stack like what you just saw here. Well, that was a pretty cool experiment to do. Next one up is going to be the first place deck, the the deck, and then after that, I'll make a third video with a more traditional the deck, just to kind of give an all around view of just the different decks in old school, the decks of the more modern old school decks of now, and then against one more traditional the deck built from the 90s. All right, guys, thank you for watching.